When we were, if you look back over the last year and a half, one of the things, there's just general things about protecting people's jobs and livelihoods and businesses, but I can tell you, especially growing up in Florida, this idea that Fauci says you stay in your house and never leave, that is so destructive to people's overall well-being. And the fact that we had people out fishing, boating, doing all that stuff, was much better off for our state and for the people in their individual circumstances. And so we very much wanted to protect people's ability to make decisions for themselves, but particularly protect people's right to work, right to operate businesses. And the result has been, if you look at Florida compared to other states in the United States, our unemployment rate is less than the national average and about 50% less than some of the other big states that have handled this in a different way. And I think that's significant because, we really were the state that was going to get hit the most with not having as much tourism, all these different things where we're very sensitive with a service-based economy, and yet we've been able to not only do better than anticipated, but doing better than a lot of other folks who were able to do it. We are third largest state in the country. The closest in population is New York. They got about 2-3 million people less than Florida, but yet New York's budget is over twice the budget of the state of Florida. And so you can drive around our roads. Are our roads worse? No. Is our infrastructure worse? No. Are our services worse? No. So we're able to meet the needs of the folks, I think, in a much more efficient way. So if you look at our infrastructure, it's actually better than many of those high-tax states. If you look at our K-12 education, we're ranked third now by U.S. News and World Report. That was not true when I was growing up in Florida. So we've been able to do a lot there. And of course, we were the only large state that had schools open in person all of last year, which is very important for our kids' well-being. But if you look at all that, we have the lowest per capita tax burden in the country in the state of Florida. And that is something that I know our citizens appreciate very much. It's something that has caused a lot of people to want to relocate to Florida. But we're doing it in a way that is really, I look at the way some others have done it where you're constantly taxing people, you're spending, wasting a lot of money. I don't know where this money goes. You pay, like in some of these other states, you pay huge amounts of money for tolls, and yet there's potholes in all the roads. It's like, where does it go? It's huge amounts of money. And so we spend the money wisely. But if you look at some of those other areas, they will tax heavily, spend profitably, and they can never kind of square the circle. They're always coming up short, so you got to go back to the well again. But when you do that, you deplete your economic base. People move jobs elsewhere. They move themselves. They move businesses elsewhere. And it's kind of a vicious cycle that you see repeated, and you see that in a number of states. In Florida, we make sure we hold the line on being a low tax state. We have very reasonable regulatory climate, and the result is we end up getting more revenue because we have more economic activity. We have more people that want to come here, more people that want to expand businesses and create jobs here. So we right now, even with COVID, we have the largest amount of budget reserves that we've ever had in the history of our state. In fact, during the pandemic, when it first hit, everything went down. As you guys remember, I cut $1 billion in line item vetoes out of the budget, which was a record for the state of Florida because we didn't know what was necessarily going to happen. But the result is, we got people working. We made sure the state kept going. And I never touched one penny from our rainy day fund throughout the whole entire pandemic. We made the choices we needed to. And then the economy ended up performing very well. So we have actually had, record-breaking in some parts of our state, visitors and tourism. Up obviously over last year significantly, and I think we're going to continue to go very well going forward. One of the things that was mentioned when I became governor is we really launched an initiative to make sure we're protecting Florida's water resources.